Yuan Shao originally wanted to execute Liu Bei. Liu Bei, calm and unflustered, said to Yuan Shao, "You would sever our old friendship on the basis of one side's words? After I was separated from Shuzhou, my second brother Guan Yu went missing. There are many men under heaven with similar looks. Must every red-faced man with a long beard be Guan Yu? Why not investigate carefully?" Yuan Shao was indecisive by nature. After hearing this, he turned on Zhu Shou. "Listening to you, I nearly killed a good man." He then invited Liu Bei back into the command tent to sit and discuss how to avenge Yan Liang's death. At that moment, a man stepped forward and said, "Yan Liang and I were like brothers. Now that he has been killed by Cao Cao, how could I not avenge him?" Liu Bei looked over. The speaker stood 8 chi tall, with a countenance like a xieji, a mythical beast. It was the famed Hebei general Wen Chou. Yuan Shao was delighted and said, "Only you can avenge Yan Liang. I will give you 100,000 troops. Cross the Yellow River at once and pursue Cao Cao." Zhu Shou, however, advised, "We should garrison at Yanjin and divide our forces to guard Guandu. That is the best course. If we rashly cross the river and something happens, none of us will return." Yuan Shao grew angry. "You people always dawdle and delay great affairs. Have you never heard that in war speed is precious?" Zhu Shou could only plead illness and withdraw from discussion. Liu Bei said, "I have received great favor and cannot repay it. I wish to set out with Wen Chou, first, to repay your grace, and second, to inquire after Guan Yu's whereabouts." Yuan Shao was pleased and ordered Wen Chou and Liu Bei to lead the vanguard. Wen Chou said, "Liu Bei is a commander who loses again and again. Keeping him close does no good to the army. Since my lord insists he go, I will allot him 30,000. Let him command the rear." Thus Wen Chou led 70,000 forward, and Liu Bei followed with 30,000. When Cao Cao saw that Guan Yu had slain Yan Liang, he valued him even more, memorialized the court to ennoble him as Marquis of Hanzhou Pavilion, and even cast a seal to send him. Suddenly a report came. Yuan Shao had again dispatched his general Wen Chou to cross the Yellow River and seize Yanjin. Cao Cao first ordered the people to be relocated to Shihe, then personally led the army to meet the enemy. He issued orders. The rear army would become the front would become the rear. The grain convoys would move first, and the troops would follow behind. Lu Qian asked, "Why send the grain ahead and the soldiers behind?" Cao Cao said, "When grain is in the rear, it is often robbed, therefore it goes first." Lu Qian asked again, "What if the enemy comes to seize the grain?" Cao Cao said, "We will deal with them when they come." Lu Qian still felt puzzled. The grain trains were escorted along the river toward Yanjin. Cao Cao, marching with the rear army, suddenly heard shouting from the front and quickly sent men to scout. They returned. "The Hebei general Wen Chou has arrived. Our men abandoned the grain and scattered everywhere. The rear is far off. What should we do?" From his whip Cao Cao pointed to 2 low hills and said, "We can take shelter there." Everyone hurried toward the hills. Cao Cao ordered the soldiers to take off their armor and rest. The horses were loosed to graze. Wen Chao's troops came up in pursuit. The officers said, "The enemy is here. Let's recover the horses and fall back to Beima." Sun Yu quickly stopped them. "This is precisely how we lure the enemy. Why withdraw?" Cao Cao glanced at Sun Yu with a smile. Sun Yu understood and said no more. Wen Chao's men seized the grain and carts, and then came to seize the horses. The ranks fell into confusion. Cao Cao ordered his officers and men to charge down from the hills together. Wen Chao's army collapsed into disorder. Chao's soldiers encircled them tightly, and Wen Chou could only fight desperately on his own. The men trampled one another. Wen Chou could not hold them and turned his horse to flee. From the hill Cao Cao pointed to Wen Chou and said, "He is a famous Hebei general. Who can take him?" Zhang Liao and Su Huang spurred their horses together and shouted, "Wen Chou, do not run." Seeing them close, Wen Chou drew and aimed an arrow at Zhang Liao. Su Huang shouted, "Villain, do not loose." Zhang Liao ducked. The arrow shot off his helmet. Zhang Liao pressed on. Then Wen Chou sent another arrow that pierced his horse's cheek. The horse knelt and Zhang Liao tumbled to the ground. Wen Chou wheeled back, and Su Huang met him with a great axe. As Wen Chao's reinforcements arrived, Su Huang judged he could not prevail and drew back. Wen Chou pursued along the river, when he suddenly saw a dozen riders with fluttering banners, the leader brandishing a blade and charging like the wind, Guan Yu. He shouted, "Villain, stand!" After fewer than 3 passes, Wen Chao's heart quailed. He turned and fled along the river. Red Hair was swift. Guan Yu overtook him and cut him down with a single stroke. From the hill, Cao Cao saw Guan Yu behead Wen Chou and sent the army surging forward. Many of the Hebei soldiers tumbled into the water, and the grain and horses were retaken by Cao Cao. Guan Yu, with a handful of riders, slashed left and right through the melee. At the height of the fighting, Liu Bei arrived with 30,000 troops. His forward scouts reported, "The red-faced, long-bearded general has slain Wen Chou again." Liu Bei galloped forward. From across the river he glimpsed a squadron flashing past. On their banner were the words Marquis of Han's Ho Pavilion, Guan Yu. Liu Bei thanked heaven silently. So my younger brother truly is with Cao Cao. He wished to ride forward and reveal himself, but the mass of Chao's troops pressed between them, and he had to withdraw his forces. Yuan Shao brought the army to Guandu and made camp. Guitu and Shen Pei told Yuan Shao, "It was Guan Yu who killed Wen Chou this time as well." Liu Bei pretended not to know. Yuan Shao flew into a rage and cursed, "That big-eared thief dares this." Before long, Liu Bei entered the camp, and Yuan Shao ordered him dragged out for execution. Liu Bei said, "What crime have I committed?" Yuan Shao said, "You deliberately let your brother kill yet another of my great generals. How is that not a crime?" Liu Bei said, "Allow me a final word before death. Cao Cao has always been jealous of me. Now that he knows I am under your protection, he fears I will aid you. So he purposely let Guan Yu kill your generals to provoke your anger, hoping to make use of your hand to kill me. Please consider this well." Yuan Shao said, "Liu Bei speaks reasonably. You nearly made me bear the name of one who harms the worthy." He waved off the attendants and invited Liu Bei back into the tent. Liu Bei said, "Your gracious clemency I cannot repay. I would like to send a trusted man with a secret letter to Guan Yu to tell him I am here. He will certainly come by night to aid you, and together we may strike Cao Cao and avenge Yan Liang and Wen Chou. What do you think?" Yuan Shao rejoiced. "If I can have Guan Yu, he is worth 10 times Yan Liang and Wen Chou." Liu Bei wrote the letter, yet no courier had gone. Yuan Shao withdrew to Wuyang, linking camps for dozens of li and remaining inactive. Cao Cao set Xiahou Dun to hold the Guandu Pass while he returned to Xuchang to feast his ministers and celebrate Guan Yu's merit. He also said to Lu Qian, "When I sent the grain ahead, it was a ruse to lure the enemy. Only Sun Yu understood my intention." All present expressed admiration. In the midst of drinking, a report arrived. In Runan, yellow turban bandits Lu Pai and Gong Du are rampant. Chao Hong has lost several engagements and requests reinforcements. Guan Yu stepped forward and said, "I am willing to subdue the bandits of Runan." Cao Cao said, "You have just rendered great service, and I have yet to reward you properly. How can I send you out again?" Guan Yu said, "If I am idle, I grow ill. Pray grant me the chance." Cao Cao admired his spirit, assigned 50,000 troops, and appointed Eugene and Eugene as his deputies, with departure set for the next day. In private, Sun Yu said to Cao Cao, "Guan Yu longs to return to Liu Bei. If he learns news of him, he will certainly leave. Do not often let him go into the field." Cao Cao said, "After this battle and its merit, I will no longer place him before the enemy." As Guan Yu neared Runan, he made camp. That night the soldiers captured 2 spies. Guan Yu looked and found one of them to be Sun Qian. He dismissed the attendants and asked, "After you fled, there was no word. How are you here? Sun Qian said, I fled to Runan and by fortune was sheltered by Lu Pai. How is it that you are with Cao Cao? Our lady's gone and me well. Guan Yu recounted all that had passed. Sun Qian said, Recently I heard that Liu Bei is with Yuan Shao and sought to go to him, but had no chance. Now Lu Pai and Gong Du have submitted to Yuan Shao and are jointly attacking Cao Cao. By luck we heard you were coming here, so they sent a soldier with me as a spy to deliver a message. Tomorrow the two will feign a defeat. You can then quickly escort the two ladies to Yuan Shao and be reunited with Liu Bei. Guan Yu said, Since my elder brother is with Yuan Shao, I will hasten to him. But I have slain 2 of Yuan Shao's generals. Circumstances may have changed. Sun Qian said, I will first scout the situation and return with news. Guan Yu said, To see my brother once, I would die 1,000 deaths without regret. When I return to Xuchang, I will formally bid farewell to Cao Cao. That very night he secretly sent Sun Qian away. The next day Guan Yu led the army out. Gong Du came armored to the line. Guan Yu asked, Why do you rebel against the court? Gong Du said, You are the one who has betrayed his lord. How dare you rebuke me? Guan Yu asked, How have I betrayed my lord? Gong Du said, Liu Bei is under Yuan Shao, yet you follow Cao Cao. What is that if not betrayal? Guan Yu would not bandy words. He spurred forward, blade raised. Gong Du feigned flight, and Guan Yu pursued. Gong Du turned and called out, A former lord's grace must not be forgotten. Go on inside, Runan, we yield to you. Guan Yu understood, pressed the attack, and Liu Pai and Gong Du scattered as if routed. Guan Yu took the counties, pacified the people, and then returned to Xuchang. Cao Cao personally rode out to welcome him and rewarded the troops. After the banquet, Guan Yu returned home and bowed outside the women's quarters. Lady Gan asked, Uncle, you have twice gone to war. Have you any word of the imperial uncle? Guan Yu replied, Not yet. When he withdrew, the 2 ladies wept within. It seems there is no hope for the imperial uncle. Second uncle hides the truth, so we will not grieve. As they cried, an old soldier outside overheard and came in. My ladies, do not weep. Our lord is in Hebei with Yuan Shao. The ladies asked, How do you know? The old soldier said, I followed General Guan to the field, and men on the line spoke of it. They urgently summoned Guan Yu and reproached him. The imperial uncle never wronged you. Now you enjoy Cao Cao's favor yet forget former ties. Why did you not tell us the truth? Guan Yu knocked his head to the floor and said, My elder brother is indeed in Hebei. I dared not speak for fear the news would leak. Such matters must be handled with care, not in haste. Lady Gan said, Uncle must act quickly. Guan Yu withdrew, restless and ill at ease, pondering what to do. Just then Eugene learned that Liu Bei was in Hebei and reported to Cao Cao, who sent Zhang Liao to sound Guan Yu's mind. Zhang Liao entered while Guan Yu sat brooding and offered congratulations. I hear you learned on the battlefield that Liu Bei still lives. I came to wish you joy. Guan Yu said, Though my former lord lives, I have not yet seen him. What joy is there? Zhang Liao asked, Between your ties with Liu Bei and with me, which is closer? Guan Yu said, With you I am bound by friendship. With Liu Bei I am bound by friendship and brotherhood, and as brother I am also his subject. How could they be the same? Zhang Liao asked, Since Liu Bei is in Hebei, will you go to him? Guan Yu said, How could I break my word from before? Wen Yuan, please convey my regards to the chancellor. Zhang Liao reported this to Cao Cao. Cao Cao said, I have my own way to keep him. While Guan Yu was still weighing his course, a visitor came, calling himself Chunjun of Nanyang, a subordinate of Yuan Shao. Guan Yu, startled, dismissed the attendants and asked his business. Chunjun produced a letter. It was from Liu Bei, and it said, in essence, We swore brotherhood in the peach garden to live and die together. Now you have left me midway and cut off our bond? Since you desire rank and riches, then take my head to complete your merit. I will say no more, only await your reply. Guan Yu read the letter and wept. It is not that I would not seek my elder brother, but that I did not know where he was. How could I for the sake of wealth betray our old pact? Qinjin said, Xuanda longs for you. If you will not betray your old oath, then go to him at once. Guan Yu said, a man must have an end that matches his beginning. One must be clear when arriving and clearer when departing. I will now write to my brother. Take it to him first. I will go to bid farewell to Cao Cao, then escort the two ladies to him. Qinjin asked, if Cao Cao will not permit it, what then? Guan Yu said, I would rather die than remain. Qinjin said, write quickly lest the Governor Lu continue in anxious suspense. Guan Yu wrote back, essentially, I know that righteousness does not betray the heart and loyalty does not fear death. Since youth I have read books and learned a little of rights and duty. When I read of Yang Jiaoqian's Wubuitao, tears always came unbidden. In the defense of Xiapi, grain ran short and reinforcements failed to arrive. I would have died for my lord, but with our two sisters-in-law by my side, I did not dare to take my own life and fail the trust placed in me. I therefore remained here in hopes of another meeting. Only recently in Runan did I learn news of my brother. I will immediately take leave of Cao Cao face to face and bring our sisters-in-law to you. Should I harbor two hearts, let gods and men together punish me. My liver and gall are laid bare. Words cannot exhaust my feeling. I look to our reunion. Please examine me clearly. Qinjin departed with the letter. Guan Yu informed the two ladies inside, then went to pay respects to Cao Cao and tender his resignation. Cao Cao understood his purpose and deliberately hung a not receiving placard at his door. Guan Yu returned home depressed, ordered the baggage and horses made ready at any moment, and instructed the household that he would take not a single item of what Cao Cao had bestowed. All should be left behind. The next day he went again to take his leave, but could not gain audience. He went several times in vain, then called at Zhang Liao's house to ask him to intercede. Zhang Liao pled illness and would not see him. Guan Yu thought, so the chancellor will not let me go. But my mind is set, how can I remain? He therefore wrote a letter to Cao Cao, which said essentially, from youth I have followed the imperial uncle and swore to live and die with him, with heaven and earth as witness. When Xiapi fell, I asked 3 things of you and you granted them. Now I have learned that my former lord is with Yuan Shao. Recalling our vows of those days, how could I betray them? Your new favors are deep, but the old righteousness cannot be forgotten. I present this letter of farewell, and beg you to understand. The debt I have yet to repay I can only repay in days to come. He sealed the letter and sent it to Cao Cao's residence. At the same time he had all the gold and silver he had received carefully sealed and stored, hung the seal of Marquis of Hansho Pavilion in the main hall, invited the 2 ladies to board the carriage, mounted Red Hair with the green dragon crescent blade in hand, gathered his old retainers, and escorted the train straight to the north gate. The gate guards tried to stop him. Guan Yu glared, lifted his blade, and roared. The guards scattered in fright. Beyond the gate he said to his followers, you protect the carriage and horses and go on ahead. If any come in pursuit, I will handle them. Do not alarm the ladies. The party pushed on along the highway. Meanwhile Cao Cao was still discussing Guan Yu when attendants reported the letter of farewell. Reading it, Cao Cao was shocked. Guan Yu is gone. A flying messenger from the north gate arrived. Guan Yu forced the gate, departed with more than 20 men and horses, and is heading north. Another messenger from Guan Yu's residence reported, all the bestowed gold and silver are sealed and left behind. The 10 palace maids were housed elsewhere. The seal of Marquis of Hansho Pavilion hangs in the hall. Of the servants rewarded by the chancellor, he took not one, only his old followers and baggage, and he left by the north gate. All were astonished. A general stepped forth and said, I request 3,000 iron cavalry to seize Guan Yu alive for the chancellor. The assembly saw it was the general Kai Yang. As the saying goes, seeking to leave a 10,000 fathom abyss, he meets 3,000 tiger wolves on the way. Cao Cao set out to pursue Guan Yu. What followed will be told in the next chapter. Summary. This chapter chiefly depicts Liu Bei's precarious standing under Yuan Shao and Guan Yu's righteous decision while under Cao Cao. By stratagem, Cao Cao contrives to defeat Yuan Shao's general Wen Chou, and Guan Yu again renders great service. Yet Guan Yu never forgets Liu Bei. After linking up with Sun Qian and Chun Jun, he resolves to take formal leave of Cao Cao and escort the two ladies back to Liu Bei. Before departing, he behaves with full propriety, taking none of Cao Cao's gifts. In the end, when Cao Cao discovers Guan Yu has set his mind to go, he dispatches Cao Cao in pursuit, laying a thread for the next episode. The chapter highlights Guan Yu's deep feeling and steadfast loyalty, and it shows the Three Kingdoms world where strategy and righteousness collide. Knowledge points. 1. According to the records of the Three Kingdoms, Sengguozi, it is historical that Guan Yu, while serving under Cao Cao, killed Yan Liang in battle, but whether he also personally slew Wen Chou is not certain. The record merely says Wen Chou was killed by Cao Cao's forces, not necessarily by Guan Yu's own hand. 2. In actual history, Cao Cao did not personally give permission for Guan Yu to leave. Rather, when he later heard that Guan Yu had gone, he displayed magnanimity and said there was no need to pursue. The novel dramatizes this into Cao Cao grandly, letting him go, to sharpen character contrast. 3. In the novel, Yuan Shao's defeat is attributed largely to obstinacy and the loss of brave generals. Historically, the decisive turn at Guandu was Cao Cao's surprise strike on Wu Chao to cut Yuan Shao's supply lines. The novel downplays logistics and highlights single combat heroics.